BookTube. Welcome to Lucy Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today I wanted to tell you about the Summer Library Challenge that my local library did for adults. Now, historically, they've always done a really cool summer program for children, but last year, our library started a program for adults. Now, if you followed my channel last year, you may recall that the challenge last year was Library Bingo, and we had a bingo card that had all kinds of different challenges on it. You read the books for each challenge, and for every bingo that you had, you could get one entry into the prize for a maximum of 5 bingos to fill your card. So you could have a maximum of 5 entries into the prize drawing, and I actually ended up winning one of the prizes, which was a Kindle. They gave away 2 Kindles, and I was so thrilled to win this. So for this year, I'm not really sure yet what the prize is going to be. They had said it was going to be one thing, and then that fell through, so I'm not really sure yet what it's going to be, but I just enjoy doing challenges. So everyone who signed up for the challenge got this passport. It says Republic of, and it's got the name of the library, and on the back it says the name of the challenge, which is Around the Shelves in 80 Days, and it gives the rules. So in this passport there are spots for 24 books, and actually one is a free space, so 23 books. So if you read the book for that challenge, you have to write a little bit about it, and then for every page in your passport that you fill, you get an entry into the prize drawing. And I have now completed reading all of the books for this challenge, so I thought I would go through and just tell you what I read for each challenge. Now, I probably won't talk much about the book. I'll save that for hopefully some end of summer wrap-ups. And also, I'm not going to hold up the book. I'm just going to show you a picture of the book, because I think I can get this filmed a lot quicker that way. It's all travel themed. Each challenge relates to some sort of travel or some location around the world. So it allows you to read quite a variety of books. So the first one says, read a book about North America. And I read Touching Stars by Emily Richards. And then read a book translated from a foreign language. And I read A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman, which is translated from Swedish. And then read a book based on Africa. I read Miracle at Speedy Motors by Alexander McCall Smith. That's part of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series. And then read a book based on time travel, and I read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Now, some of these books I also read for Booktubeathon, and they meet other challenges that I did for, the readathons during the summer and stuff like that. So some of these books did double duty. Okay, the next section, read a book about the distance of the planets. And I am counting Mark of the Dragonfly by J. Lee Johnson, because that is a steampunk book, but they're on an unknown planet, and they get these meteor showers from other planets, and they scavenge for stuff that come in the meteor showers, and so I'm counting that for this challenge. Then read a book based on South America, and I read The Lost City of Z by David Grann. Read a book about traveling to a remote island, and I read Bridge to Neverland by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. Then read a book about a foreign author. I read a book by a foreign author, so hopefully that will count. I read Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I may have to go back and redo that one. I haven't turned this in yet, so I think instead of Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix for read a book about a foreign author, I will put in The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, because that is a book about an author, and it takes place in Barcelona, Spain. So that book will count for that challenge, and that will more accurately represent the actual challenge. So I know I'm kind of legalistic when it comes to these things, but I just want to do what the challenge says. All right, read a book based on a trip to the moon, and I am counting Nothing But Blue Skies by Christy Ridgway. That was a book about an astronaut who was scheduled for a mission to the moon and got into an accident and was temporarily blinded and was trying and working towards getting healed and getting well so that he could still go on that moon mission. Then read a book based on Asia, and I read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. Another book about North America, and I read Lover's Knot by Emily Richards. Then read a book about the grasslands, and I read a pictorial history book from the Images of America series on De Smet, South Dakota, and that was written by the Laura Ingalls Wilder Society. Then the next section, read a book about a tundra. And I read Julie by Jean Craighead George. That was also one of my Booktubeathon books. And then read a book based on traveling to the forest. And I counted The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien for that. Because, of course, in The Two Towers, there's that whole section where the hobbits are in the forest and they meet the Ents. And there's quite a big section that takes place in the forest. Then read about a major change in another country. And this was my most recent read. I'm counting A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park because it is about civil war in Sudan. Then read a book based on Africa. I read Tea Time for the Traditionally Built. That's another book from the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series by Alexander McCall Smith. And then read a book based on Europe, and I read Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Read a book based on Antarctica. I read At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. I listened to that on audio, and then I also read the graphic novel. Then read a book based on Australia. I read The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. And then that's the page that has the free pass. So then the last section, read a book about traveling by sea, and I read Caribbean Cruising by Rachel Hawthorne. That was one of my Booktubeathon books. Read a book about traveling to outer space. I read Randoms by David Lease, and that is one of our Sunshine State books for this school year. Then read a book from the following continent, South America. There's 2 of those, so I had already mentioned The Lost City of Z. Well, then I also read The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And the last one, read a book about traveling to the desert. I read a book that takes place in the desert, which I actually read several by Tony Hillerman. The one I wrote down here is The Dark Wind by Tony Hillerman, which is one of the Navajo mysteries. So that is what I read this summer for our adult library challenge, and I had a lot of fun doing it. If I win anything, I'll let you know in a future video, but for now, that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day, read a good book, and God bless you.